You know, Subway has no problem charging you, you know, 20 to 30% more to add double meat on your BLT sandwich or your steak and cheese or anything that involves adding extra meat. But the owner, Fred LaDuca, Fred DeLuca, something like that. He didn't give his franchisee owners. He didn't give them a 20 to 30% discount when he was double meeting their wives. Rest in peace, Fred DeLuca. Welcome to the legal drinking age of Offenbeat, episode 21. I'm your host, Clint, and this is episode 21. And I open with that to mention that so today it is 11:44 p.m. It is Monday, July 12th. And if any of y'all try to go to Subway tonight, they closed at 6 p.m. tonight because they're preparing for tomorrow, July 13th. Tomorrow's a very, very big fucking day for them. Apparently they're getting a new menu. Because, having the same menu for 20 years, it took for, their tuna being not tuna for them to finally tune in to the world. And it's probably what he was smelling under Bob's wife, who owns some Subway in Tempe, Arizona. Shout out to Random Kristen out there, because I'm sure that's her name. But apparently they're starting eat fresh, refresh type of menu activation. So apparently tomorrow when you go to Subway, they're giving out 1 million free subs from 10 a.m. to noon. Now you may wonder, how can they limit to 1 million? Because if more than 1 million people go through, you're going to sell more than 1 million subs. It's like, well, it's at the first 50 subs. The first 50 people that ask for a free sub get a free sandwich. Okay, cool. What does that have to do with getting a new fucking menu? Really, absolutely nothing. Here's where it does. So now you get, if you go to Subway tomorrow, you get a free 6-inch of this new sandwich called the Turkey Bacon Cali sandwich, if I'm saying that correctly. If not, you get the drift. It's a bland-ass 6-inch sub. Very underwhelming, I would only assume. I saw a picture. Looked dry as hell. Can you add mayo? You should. Can you add oil and oregano? You should. Now, it's cool. If you ask for a free sandwich, you get it, right? Now, in a statement, it's basically this menu relaunch. It's a big day for them. So, as I was reading this article about it, they made a random statement along with this refresh menu that this will enhance the products they already have. They have upgraded the quality. With the exception, the one thing that won't change, though, the one thing that won't change on the whole menu is the one thing that you should probably at least make, real. I don't eat tuna, and their quote was, the one thing that won't change on our menu is our premium wholesome tuna. In case y'all are out of touch, the tuna from Subway, they have done deep lab studies on it and find out it literally contains 0% tuna. Which, to be honest, just by looking at it, you really needed a lab test to really see that. Subway, eat fresh. Just spread on your wife's flaps. That one did not land well. But olive. Olives. Beautiful, salty. Kind of like her. Anyways. So they went out of their way to make the statement that the tuna aspect won't change. It's almost like, yeah, fuck you guys. You guys are going to eat our fucking tuna, knowing there's no tuna, because it's probably cheaper to distribute fake tuna, because we could just make it instead of actually having to contain fish or whatever the fuck is in that nasty ass smelling coochie smelling shit. But the one thing, I was reading a little further. Okay, cool. Subway's launching a menu. Why July 13th are they doing this? Is there something special? I am pretty sure this wasn't something that was in the works for 8 months now, and the tuna thing happened to come up, and it just happened to fit into the plan. I'm pretty sure the last week and a half, probably told them they need to make a new campaign. But apparently July 13th is National Friday. National French Friday, specifically at McDonald's. Basically giving out French fries all fucking day. Yes, because that's what the world needs. We have an obesity issue. Free French fries. Because all it's going to do for you people that really think you're getting free French fries, you probably have to order something and you get French fries for free with it. So on a day that you probably wouldn't go to McDonald's, you're going to end up going to McDonald's, and you end up going to be spending money that you weren't going to spend to begin with at a place that you weren't going to go at to begin with, because they're giving out free fries, which is obviously not free because you had to pay to get the fucking free fries. Jesus fucking Christ. But hey, apparently, if you go to McDonald's tomorrow with the order or whatever, pretty sure in your French fry thing, you could potentially win like a Monopoly free fries for life. It says you have a chance to win free fries for life, because, that's what we want to do for the rest of our lives for the next 70 years, is eat fucking French fries for life. The only thing that irritates me about it, you know what? If you want to go get your French fries, go get your fucking French fries. If you want to go get your dry ass turkey Cali bacon sandwich from Subway for free, I'm not gonna be mad at you. It's free. But go fuck yourself. Because the only reason why they would do this nonsense is because they know you will flock like some geese, and they can shove that shit down your throat like some Wonder Bread. And then you wonder why you never have any bread to take home. You're wonderful. You think you're nature's own? Nah, fuck you. You're just another flock. You're just a follower of geese. I don't even know what to say. I'm literally at a loss for words. Because the fact that people are going to eat up the shit, no pun intended, but I guess technically all pun intended, because you guys are going to eat a lot of shit tomorrow. They ain't even remotely positive for you. And I know I adult talking tonight. Who am I to speak on what someone should eat or not to eat? That's not the point here. But I'm not going to eat at Subway just because they're giving out a free 6-inch sub. I refuse to get anything less than 12 inches from Subway. Which, by the way, which I'm pretty sure y'all know because y'all are well versed. Subway's bread, they did a lab test on that months ago. There's too much sugar in it for it to be considered bread. Literally in any, I believe it's like Sweden or one of those fucking countries that actually cares about their country's health. Subway cannot label it as bread because it is not bread. Here we can. Because when you think of bread, I think of ice cream sandwiches. Just think about the image of 2 pieces of bread. in between ice cream. Only us can fucking make that happen. But you know what? Go get your fries. Go get your extra dipping sauces from McDonald's. Go to your Subway. I don't give a fuck. But you know what? Don't sit here and complain about how, advertising is what gets me to eat stuff I shouldn't. Don't complain to me about, it's because all the pressure, all the so many restaurants there are, and why my kids eat foods they shouldn't. Or I can't lose weight because at every corner there's a Moe's Southwest Grill. I can't lose weight because at every corner there's a fucking Subway. It's like, you know what? Let me help you out there. It's called Don't Fucking Eat There. Because you know what's beside every fucking Subway? You know what's beside, within a mile radius of every Moe's Southwest Grill? You know what's beside every fucking Chick-fil-A? There's always a Publix. There's always a Kroger. There's always a Walmart. Even a Target. That's like a last resort to do any significant shopping of anything of significance like food and shit. Because who the fuck goes strictly grocery shopping at Target? I understand if you're at Target and you're looking at some kids' toys, or you're looking at some cheap clothing, or you're looking at some like furniture, are you trying to get a plan B so you can prevent having to go back to the furniture to buy a crib for your next kid that you could have just got a plan B? But no one goes to Target, grabs a cart, and just starts in aisle 1. No one starts where the dry peanut butter is. No one starts with the bananas. Who the fuck goes to Target Bakery to get fucking cookies? You are not the target audience. Target puts as much effort into their bakery section as I do this podcast. In case you can't tell, it's not great. It's not. Walmart, they put a little bit more effort. Typically their shit's dry, aged out. They probably don't always change the dates out. Kroger, it's a lot better than that. But Publix is where it's at. Publix is the gold standard. And you know what's beside every Publix? A fucking takeout Chinese place. FYI. There's always a China Walk number 3. Or a Panda Garden number 6. I don't know what the numerical part are, because they're all supposed to be different. It's weird how they're all those Chinese takeout places are independently owned, but it feels they have more of their shit together as a union. You could go to any Chinese takeout place, and they're more similar than if you go to a bunch of different Taco Bells. Seems like the Chinese takeout places have got their shit together. They've actually got a game plan out. Some that a lot of these big corporations apparently don't. I go into one place. I go into one Chick-fil-A. It's all neat and tidy. I go into another. There's a piece of tray liner on the floor. There's some honey mustard spots all over the place. The kids' playground looks like there's been more than kids playing around in there, if you get my drift. Let's just say they've been leaving some Chick-fil-A sauce dripping down the steps. That's a very deluxe way of looking at it, stacking away. But if you go to Target and specifically go grocery shopping there, I have a lot of assumptions. For one, I am going to project the hell. I don't care if you're not supposed to project shit, but I'm going to project on you. Because there's no reason to go grocery shopping specifically at a Target. There's no reason to spend $250 on groceries at a Target. Nor, I don't think I've ever seen it. But if I do, I will let you know about it. That's something you go to Walmart where it's so mass You go to specific grocery stores for that. You don't go to Target, the fucking grocery shop specifically. No, you can grab some clothes. You could grab, some game systems. You could, grab some fucking high chair, some step stool. You could grab some toilet seat covers. You could grab a shower curtain. And then you know what? Maybe you grab a couple cookie treats. Maybe you grab a big bag of chips, some Sun Chips. You don't get meat from Target. Who the fuck would get meat from Target? Who would get chicken from Target? You really, you notice how they don't really have at Target, they don't really have specific employees for specific areas. They don't really have a person that's strictly just for the bakery. They'll have a person that works from the Starbucks inside of a Target be like, hey, you cover the bakery real quick? We have a customer over there. That's cross-contamination. Talk about leaving a trail of beans from station to station. Target is not where you do one thing. It's where you get some houseware stuff. Some stuff for the house. You don't go to Target because you're going to make some lasagna that night. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't even know where the pasta section is at a Target. Now, you can go to Target and get some cooking ware. They're way better than Walmart to get some kitchen appliances. I'll tell you that much. They're way more organized. Target seems to have a lot less employees than Walmart, but somehow their stuff always seems more organized. Granted, they don't get as many customers because, again, it's a sign that not many people go to Target as you would think go to Target. Target is like for the elitists. It's like the middle class elitism. Like Walmart is for the true lower to middle class. It's where everyone comes together and understand we've all lowered our expectations to come here. We're in this big old fucking warehouse. Target, it's like where the bitches that live in like a Bentwater neighborhood, for a local reference, shout out. Or like a local Seven Hills, again, shout out. It's like where they go when they feel they're a little bit above that. Because you know what? They trust the carts. They trust the shopping carts a little bit more. They feel like it's probably been sanitized. Target probably follows procedures of health procedures. You probably feel more safe inside of a Target. Because the red scenery typically means we're killers. Walmart doesn't give that vibe. Walmart gives a vibe that you have to police yourself. If a fight breaks out in the middle of a Walmart, you're really relying on the people shopping in a Walmart to make sure someone doesn't die. In a Target, you'll actually feel like security. Or the cops will pull up in like 45 seconds of incident. They'll pull up and take care of that immediately. Walmart, not the same. It's a free-for-all. That's why they close self-checkouts at Walmart past a certain time. Because, probably a smart idea. I used to hate it. Because I used to go to Walmart to get water jugs up to 2 a.m. But you know what? Here we are. But Target, man. Not a big fan. I used to go to Target to get some CDs. I used to go to get some school appliances, maybe. I think they're good for like I would say their electronic knowledge in the department's probably a whole lot better than Walmart. For the most part, I feel like people in there, they can actually go through the whole electronics department, break down what does what. They probably actually have to have a background knowledge. And they're probably getting highly underpaid. But you know what? They're one of those that love their job. Walmart employees know they're getting underpaid. So they are not going to go home and study what's the Dr. Dre Beats radius system for its capacity to noise cancellation. They're going to be like, I don't know, man. Look it up. They're going to be do your research. It's like, If I wanted to do my fucking research, I would have done it. I would rather just ask someone who's quote unquote professional, who quote unquote knows what the hell in the area they're patrolling over. I hate those people that do your fucking research, people. You know what? Do your research of when someone asks you a question. If you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. I don't know the answer. You'll have to look that up. Be like, you know what? Understandable. You don't know it. By all means, perfectly fine. One thing that I can't stand is the arrogance of I know the answer, or I kind of know the answer, but I'm going to tell you, go fuck yourself and look it up. Because if you're asking me in that amount of time, you could have just looked it up. It's like, nah, service in big warehouses kind of suck, bro. If you don't know, then just say you don't know, or just say you don't want to answer it. Say you're not in the mood. I would respect that a whole lot more than to do your fucking research, people. You know what? Do your research on human interaction. If I wanted to do my fucking research, I would have done my fucking research. It's not always someone's job to do fucking research. What's the point of asking people questions? You know what? If every answer to a question is do your research, then what is the point of human interaction? If I ask my girlfriend, what's wrong? Do your research. Do my research. I didn't know there was a website of your feelings. Go fuck yourself, you Taurus. Look up my astrology sign. You'll know what's wrong. Yeah, I do know what's wrong now. The fact that you think someone should look up your astrology sign to see what's wrong with you. Do your research. Nah. Do your therapy, bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyone, look, man, I understand if it's like a lengthy answer or if it's something that I don't have time to answer. Like, hey, I'm on the way to work. I'm in a rush right now. Like, if I'm in the kitchen with my wife, right? No, I'm not married. And I don't live with a woman. Can I get a yeah? But let's say I'm in the kitchen. It's 7:45 a.m. I have to leave and work in 10 minutes. She has to start getting the kids ready. We're just going to pretend I have kids in this situation. And kids are not up yet. I ask her a question like, you know what? So what is with this whole Meghan McCain situation with The View? Why did she quit The View? Because, all housewives watch The View. I know my housewife will, because you know what? She's probably going to hate me, which means she's going to hate men, which means watch The View. It's 2 p.m., bitch. Watch The View. I think it actually comes on at noon. But you know what? We're probably not going to have cable anyways. Just watch on fucking YouTube. Why would I pay $80 for cable when you watch everything on YouTube? Anyways, why did Meghan McCain leave The View? Could you imagine she's like, well, maybe when you thought of that, you should have just looked it up. Be like, Or maybe I wanted you to feel included in our marriage. Wanted you to feel important. Felt like you were passing on knowledge to me. Because you know what? If I can just look up shit, what the fuck do I need you for? What the fuck do we need anyone for? If it's just do your research, why even have open conversation? Just do your research. You know what? Do your part. Say do your research. Do your fucking part. When people ask simple, if I ask, hey, what route do I take to downtown Atlanta? Could you imagine if someone who knows, someone that gets somebody to say, hey, when you turn out here, get on the I-75 ramp, just keep going, my friend. Just keep going straight for about 18 and a half miles. Once you see the varsity on the left side, you're in Atlanta, bitch. And then figure it out from there. Be like, you know what, man? Thanks. Because you know what? Even when you get there, you'll probably want to have a Google Maps that direct specifically. But you know what? It gives you a nice general area when if I'm visiting and I don't know that shit. Can you imagine if you're a stranger in a complete middle city? Let's say this is why it's important to just do your part. Be nice. What if my phone is dead? I don't have my charger. My car's dead. So I can't even charge my car. I can't even turn on my car to charge my phone. I'm completely fucked. But I'm in this city, middle town, stuck in, let's just say, Knoxville, Tennessee, right? I don't know the area at all. I don't know where the local car shop. I don't know where the local store is to get a charger. But you know what? I'm in kind of like the downtown area. I'm in some city. I'm near a gas station. Some person comes to get gas. And I stop the person and say, hey, do you know where there's a local car shop? Do you know where the nearest car shop is? Or hey, do you know where there's a near Walmart, for example? Do you know where there's a near electronics store? Or any place where I can get a fucking charger to charge my phone? You know what they would probably do? Be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, there's a place. If you go about 2 miles here to the right, or they may just say, you know what, man, follow me, just so you don't get lost. Since you don't have a phone number, just follow me. So you follow their Subaru hatchback, and you just follow them until they get to the place, and then they get out of the car like, hey, man, I appreciate it so much. And then you know what? Maybe he gives you his phone number, you write down a piece of paper, so later you put in your phone, and then you could cash app him $20 just for the gesture. Hey, it's amazing what you do when you're just nice, right? But let's say instead of doing that, he said, oh, you don't know where the local car shop is? You don't know where your local, I'm trying to think of a fucking place here, Jim's Automotive? Do your research, bud. Okay. I'll just go fuck myself. I'll just strand my family out here in the middle of nowhere. Just go fuck myself. Yeah. Those are the people that do your research people. And you know what? I hope you do your research people. I hope your car breaks down in the middle of nowhere, and when you see a snake bite your fucking kid in the leg, and your phone's dead, no signal, can't even connect to the internet, can't call 911, snake bites your kid in the leg, you don't know if it's venomous or not. And you don't know how to suck the venom out. You don't know how to make sure he doesn't die. I hope then you just do your research. God, I've been waiting to get that do your research shit off my chest for a long fucking time. Oh man, fuck your research. The do your research, what do you think I am, huh? You think I'm like some Boston University medical synopsis blog website just up here in my fucking brain, huh? You think I just have photographic memory of every fucking article I've ever read? Is that what you think? The fucking arrogance on you motherfuckers to think that the solution to everything is just do your research. You know what? I agree that people need to do research before they speak on things. I agree with that. But if I ask you a simple question to keep the conversation going to some I may not know, if you know the answer, just briefly explain it. You can even give like a small, in the Republican National Convention, actually, this is what happened between blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. It's like, but, in terms of the full details, it'd be too much to get into. So, maybe in your free time, look that up. You know what? That is fair. But if I ask for a simple answer to something, just tell me the fucking answer. If you know the goddamn answer. This isn't the CR fucking CT. Like, no one is getting kicked out for plagiarism if you tell me the fucking answer. It's real life, bitch. You fucking cunt. Just tell me the fucking answer. Jesus. My stress levels are really high now. Not because I'm actually stressed. I just fucking hate that shit. And everyone should. I really do feel like there are certain things that should be universally hated. Rape, universally hated. Molestation, universally hated. I think we're all on the same page. Beating women senselessly. I think he's universally hated, except in, 1/3 of the population in certain countries. Other than that, universally hated. Incest. Touching there was actually a NFL linebacker No, he hasn't been convicted yet. But, so this guy named Barkevious Mingo. It's an ongoing case, so I'm not going to say he's guilty or nothing like that, but it doesn't look good. He hasn't technically denied it. But apparently he got cut from the Falcons, local team. So it kind of applies to the local area. Apparently he is being charged with a child sex crime. It's like, that raised my eyebrows. I clicked on the article. I've heard about the player. Firmly aware of him. He's like outside linebacker / DN hybrid type of guy in the NFL. He's more like a role player at this point of his career. He was like a top 6 draft pick, blah, blah, blah. So apparently it was in July of 2019 or 2020. Apparently at like a July 4th party, or he was at home or whatever, little get together. And I don't want to make it too graphic, but essentially he pulled a younger boy's underwear down. Yeah, this just got nasty. Like, disgusting. And apparently he tried to do some things I'm not going to say, but essentially, like we were talking about earlier, molestation. And apparently the mother of the child is coming out, with these allegations and things like that. So the Falcons heard it, permanently terminate his contract. He wasn't on a guaranteed contract, nothing like that, so they have every right to terminate his contract without really any ramifications. And on top of that, gotta be very delicate when I speak about these things. So he posted, basically turned himself into jail, which is always kind of a weird. If you don't feel you did something, I understand playing the game of the justice system type of thing. But if you don't feel like if you didn't do anything, then you didn't do anything. So don't turn yourself in. That's 101. You pay $25,000 bond, turn yourself in, but then you're going to say the claims are baseless. It's like, or you would have just not turned yourself in and claimed your innocence if truly it was completely baseless. But I digress. And then now his lawyer's saying, oh, the Falcons acted irrational, and then I think they're trying to file claims towards the Falcons for terminating his contract when there's just allegations. And here's the way I look at this, right? We could go into the reality that unless you bring such a impact to the team, winning and stuff, you're always going to be replaceable. You don't have as much of a leash to get away with when it comes to certain things off the field. They're like, it's not worth the headache that you bring. You're not good enough for the headache you bring. Now, I think anything with child crimes, it's not even about you're not worth the headache. There's, you're a fucking creep, potentially. You're probably going to go to jail anyways. This isn't just, you had drugs, you had guns. Like Frank Clark on the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way, he's facing felony? 15, 20 years in prison? Because he had automatic weapons in his car. Technically, they haven't cut him. They're going to let that process play out because he's worth the headache. And even though the crime, you could question his decision making for having unregistered weapons that are legal anyways, but not even having registered weapons. And it's a felony too. And they're not allegations. This happened. It's just a matter of how the court takes it. Will they let him just pay a big fine, community service, and maybe probation or something, or will he go to jail? And he's still on the team. They're not even considering cutting him. But Barkevious Mingo, you apparently touched a little boy, 14, 15, I believe. What are you doing, dude? Notice how the lawyer, I looked at the statement from the lawyer. And he did mention the claims are baseless. And for some reason he meant to throw in there anything any sexual situation that Barkevious Mingo has ever been in has always been consensual. It's like, but if the claims are baseless, then why is that part even necessary to say? Because that's almost insinuating that, yes, they did have sex. Kind of like Trevor Bauer, the MLB pitcher, and the girl who's accusing that he went way overboard in their dominating way in the bedroom. He's like, yeah, we did have sex, but everything that happened was consensual. He didn't deny they had sex. Saying something's baseless means it never happened. But by admitting that all sexual situations you were in were consensual, doesn't really matter, being the fact that the kid's underage and you're touching his fucking underwear. Why am I talking about this anymore? Anyways. But yeah, I hope it's not true, because that means there's a young child or teenager that's traumatized by that, and he's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life. So just for that sake, I hope it's not true. I don't give a fuck how it affects his career, Mingo's career, but that's your creep alert. Haven't done one of those creep alert editions since the Drake Bell, which the situation is not so simple at all. But yeah, man, I want to go back. But yeah, to the do your research guy. Go fuck yourself. I understand that it could be annoying answering questions when people ask questions, but also don't say we always want these open talks about things. But then when people try to have open talks with you, you tell them to go fuck themselves and do your research. I understand that if people keep asking you the same questions over and over again, it probably gets annoying to answer over and over again. I get that. Trust me, I get that. I have friends of mine that complain to me about their personal situations all the time, and it gets tedious to kind of give them the repetitive same answers. But you know what you don't do? You don't tell them to go do your research. Doing your research insinuates that whatever shit you would have to say is less credible. And from a personal standpoint, that is complete horseshit. Because research doesn't always care about your feelings, which is good and a bad thing. Because sometimes you need to take your feelings out of things to observe something for what it is. But also sometimes feelings and what you feel and emotions can't be put in a database. You could do studies that kind of, translate it to kind of at least get close to whatever you're trying to get at. But it's just not the same. Something about that interpersonal connection is very, very important. So just be considerate that when people ask you questions that they may not have all the time in the world. Maybe they got shit to do later that night. Something that could be told them in 25 seconds. You want them to go look it up, spend 2 minutes on Google, go on 3 different websites, read all these articles. When it's like, you know what? Just be the messenger. You realize that books you read, textbooks you read, whether you believe they're all factual or not, they have been broken down, and translated so it's more appeasable and less time consuming for you to read. Because the person that read before you had to probably read loads and loads of books and pages just to write this one book about the same subject. And they broke it down, they maybe simplified it, and have made it easier for you. The Bible, I would assume that wasn't the first draft. I'm pretty sure even God's like, hey, you know what? As he's writing this, you know what? Maybe we should edit this a bit. This is very long-winded, very tedious. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know how many pages the Bible is, let's say like 1,000, maybe. I'm pretty sure it was like 3,000 before. Typically, you narrow it down to make it simplified for everyone else. So when it passes down in history, so when it passes down from person to person, it's a better chance that the message is more simpler and that it doesn't get misconstrued and that it's much better for it to be passed on. Accurate information. Because the more shit you have, the more shit there's to mess up. The less shit you have, the less shit you can fuck up. It's pretty simple. More money, more problems, more knowledge, more annoying people trying to get some of it. But you know what? You want knowledge, it's a blessing and a curse. It is. And that's okay. It probably is annoying to be a smart person. But you know what? I'm pretty sure it feels great to know a lot of shit too. To understand more of quote unquote life. Or to understand this, that, and the other. I don't know. But you know what? God, I just hate to do your research. I know I've said it like 38 times already. But you know what? Do your research on research. It's not everyone's job to read a fucking formulaic article, top down, top to bottom, about why the polar bears really are being affected by the Greenland pipeline thing. Like, yeah, I could read 4 articles that take 19 minutes of my time. Or if I have a friend who read, like, you know what? What's the point of reading shit if you don't pass on the knowledge to other people? What is the fucking point? I read shit all the time. If someone were to ask me about it, I wouldn't be like, well, you know, all you have to do is go on USA Today and read it, you lazy fuck. It's like, because you know what? They'll probably be like, you know what? I'm good. I would like to know more, but not at the expense of wasting more of my time when the whole point of you using the time you had was so you can save everyone else's. It's called being courteous, you little fucks. Sharing knowledge. You notice how your grandparents share knowledge with you, your parents share knowledge with you. Something that may have took them 3 years to learn, they teach you in a 10-minute session when you run through your neighbor's yard with your car because you had to get to work. They pass that knowledge on to you. Why you're wrong. Go apologize. And you know what? Saves you a lot of time. You apologize, you move on from it. Some of y'all have too much fucking pride to think you're too good to fucking pass on knowledge. I know I've cussed a lot, but I'm really passionate about this shit. I'm really passionate about... and that's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm not a big fucking research guy. I think research is very important, obviously. I think without research, we wouldn't have studies. Without research, we wouldn't be able to understand this. Without research, you wouldn't be able to understand your human behaviors, why you do this. The rat, like when they do lab tests on rats, and they're really similar to humans, so they test on rats to kind of correlate a message to humans of what we're like without sacrificing humans. Man, it's just... that shit bugs the fuck out of me. And I just went on 30 minutes about fucking do your research. What's the summary for today? Subway Fred DeLuca. I always fuck up his name. He piped a lot of franchisees' wives. Did you know for Subway, by the way, going back to Subway? So how their thing works is when you're a franchise, you put money down, you buy a store, you pay a 10% fee, like an annual fee to use the Subway name. Which, you know, it's still a good payoff for both parties. 10% of a whole store's profit goes to Subway. That's 10% of a whole store's profit goes to the Subway company. And I believe they own like 10,000 stores. You do the math. Just off that alone, they make a shitload of fucking money. Just on that fucking loan. 10%? Imagine how much your local Subway make. They make 10% of the profit. Profit. Well, is it profit or how much they make? Either way, it's 10% of something. Either way. And the store, they get to use someone else's name and make money for themselves. It's a win-win, baby. But yeah. And let's just say Fred LaDuca. He died in 2015, but he's basically the creator of Subway. You should look up, there's this article, I believe, I found it on Yahoo. It was like on Yahoo, it was like on the Yahoo News thing. But it's actually off this Business Insider. I kind of read the more in-depth article. It's specific of controversy behind him. And all I gotta say is that man's like the Subway version of Drake. Much respect. Alright guys, go subscribe to the tube. And hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I actually enjoyed this one a lot more. Oh, yeah, go follow the IG. And oh yeah, you think I forgot? Remember the suck some titties. Hoo. Can I get your titties? Oh, and I heard, side note, I think Dana White of the UFC said Drake's dropping his album this weekend. Oh God, I hope so. It's what we need. Alright guys, have a great day. I seem to always end around 45, 46 minutes. It's like a mental clock. Except my mind just keeps ticking. Like a time bomb. No confusion, less delusion. Just like a time bomb. Wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, 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 oh. Alright, guys. And we out. Episode 21.